Jai Gurudev, Nepal to lead the world. This is the third stream of the great Katmandu Saga about the initiation of 35,000 people in Katmandu on the Ratna Park in November 1974. The greatest event in mankind's history. Why? Because in the low level of Kali Yuga, the low sattvic level of Kali Yuga, there was a big mountain of sattva produced in Ratna Park. It is such a huge mountain of sattva that the sattva could flow down from Nepal, the highest country in the world, to all Asia in the world. And Maharshi said, this sattva, which run down to the world, has stopped the spreading of communism in Asia. And we remember at those days how Cambodia and Pol Pot and Vietnam and all these things had been, and also the communism stopped even in Soviet Union. All this was done in Ratna Park in Nepal. You think it's funny, but this is the reality. Historical things change through the influence of sattva. And sattva is produced through initiation into TM. Now coming back to the story. Well, we stayed in Hotel Stone and Star. We were not allowed to lecture, we were not allowed to initiate, we didn't do anything. We were just sitting in bed meditating. The financing of Maharshi in Switzerland couldn't find a way to transfer money to us, to the Bank of Nepal. It wasn't so easy at those days, and so we had no money. With the last money we had, we bought a huge amount of flowers and wrote a letter and gave these flowers and letter to the king, asking him to tell us what we should do. We came here to Nepal to spread TM and SCI in Nepal, which is the same tradition as Nepal has. And what should we do? So we were sitting in the hotel and meditating and waiting that something happens. We couldn't even pay the hotel bill, but the hotel manager didn't ask for the bill, for the money, so he still didn't know. And we were quite desperately on the level of physical existence. Charlotte became sick, vomiting and dysentery and all this stuff, and was lying in bed like that, and it was horrible. And so I was sitting in my bed meditating one day, and I was thinking, something should happen now quickly. How will the Almighty rescue us? And then, on the periphery of my consciousness in meditation, I heard the telephone of the reception was ringing. Ring, ring, ring. It didn't stop. It disturbed me more and more. And I was thinking, where is this hotel boy? He should go there and pick up the phone. No hotel boy. It was ringing and ringing and ringing. It didn't stop. And then, after a long time of ringing, the hotel boy picked it up. I heard he was talking to someone. I was one stair upstairs, one floor upstairs, but one could hear everything in this hotel. And the boy ran the stairs up to my door, knocking, Mr. Hans, come down. It's a phone call for you. Oh, I thought, is His Majesty phoning you? Though I quickly stood up, went down to the phone in my meditation suit, and The reception was crowded with Indian businessmen. They liked to stay in Kathmandu in this hotel because it was cheap. And I took the phone and said, "Here's Mr. Brunken speaking." And then I heard a voice which I knew very well. "Jai Gurudev, how are you? Are you enjoying? Are you well? Tell me, what is your situation?" It was Maharshi from Switzerland. I don't know how he got the telephone number. I didn't tell him. And at those days, telephone was very difficult, very, very difficult. To phone from Switzerland to Nepal, very difficult. And to phone from Nepal to Switzerland, very difficult. Also in India, very, very, very difficult. And so I told him everything, and Maharshi said, "I can't hear you. Speak louder." And I spoke louder, and I just yelled into the phone because Maharshi said, "Louder, louder, speak louder, I can't hear." I told him that Charlotte is sick, vomiting, and has dysentery, that we are not allowed to do lecturing in Nepal, that we have written the king, and we have no money for food, and we can't even pay the phone bill, and all these private things I had to yell through the hotel lobby. Everyone was listening. The hotel manager was listening. The hotel boy was listening. The Indian businessmen were listening. Everyone was listening. And after I told Maharshi how horrible everything was, Maharshi said, "I give you an advice now. After this phone call, immediately initiate someone. Doesn't matter who. Just take him, initiate." And so he said, "Jai Gurudev." I said, "Jai Gurudev." I put down the phone call, and the hotel boy was next to the phone and said to him, "Come with me in my room." I took an apple from the reception, took the hotel boy. On the way, I picked some flowers from a decoration, went into my room, and told the boy, "I will initiate you now in TM." He was astonished, but he said, "Okay." I made puja and initiated him. He meditated very well, and I hope he is still meditating. Then I went to Charlotte and said, "Oh, Charlotte, wake up, wake up. Maharshi has phoned." Oh, she said, "How did he get this telephone number?" And she was startled. She was healthy immediately. And then, next day, in the morning, early in the morning, I was again meditating, of course. The hotel boy knocked on my door and said, "There's a visitor. Come down quickly." So I went down to the visitor. It was a visitor, very, very bright young man from Nepal, very intelligent, educated in a university of United States, speaking very, very good English. And he said, "The king has sent me. I will tell you everything more on the 4th stream tomorrow. Jai Gurudev, and don't forget, Nepal leads the world."